Johnson.
I'm Andrew Schaeffer.
We have come just down the road from where we were a little while ago, just past the Field of Dreams here.
Right.
Outside of Dyersville.
The real one.
The real one. We're outside of Dyersville, Iowa. We were just in New Vienna, Iowa, where we saw an 1891 Schulke. Right. Now here at the Basilica of St. Francis Xavier, we see what the label says is a Reuter from 2019. And Reuter did build this beautiful facade and this console in 2019, but there's some other parts of other organs in here. What have we got inside this instrument?
Yeah, well, the first organ in the Basilica here was a Teller's Sommerhoff organ from 1913, I believe. Teller's Sommerhoff, a lot of you may know of Teller's, but maybe not the predecessor firm. So interestingly enough, the Teller's brothers worked for William Schulke in Milwaukee, and they worked up until 1892.
Okay.
So there's a chance
that
they knew the organ in New Vienna.
Well, maybe that was a connection here.
I wonder if it was. And so after they left Schulke, they went to Erie, Pennsylvania and worked for Felgemacher, and that's where the Teller's brothers met Sommerhoff and started their firm shortly thereafter, I think in 1906. Okay. And again, you organ historians out there, please don't hold me accountable to any of these dates, but approximately. And then this organ was built in 1913, so just a few years after that. So, well, I should say, not this organ.
There was
Pipes
a Teller's
in this organ
yeah.
were built at that time. It was a 3-manual pedal instrument. In 1971, the Wicks Organ Company came in and completely redid the organ. They basically threw out the manual divisions and added a new grate and swell to it. But they saved a lot of the Teller's pipework and put it in the pedal. Okay. And then in 2019, well, prior to that, the organ was starting to show its age. It was, I think, a budget job to begin with at Wicks. The case was pretty crude, all things considered. So the Basilica was faced with what to do, and so they got some bids, and ultimately it went to the Reuter Organ Company. And Reuter reused much of the pipework from both the Wicks and the Teller's Sommerhoff organ, added a few new ranks. I believe the whole great chorus is new, and you'll get to see a lot of it when we go into the chamber. But you'll see that this is a 3-manual pedal organ. That's really kind of deceiving because it's a 2-manual organ. Okay. This bottom keyboard is what's called a solo division, but it's not a solo division as we would think of it on a Kimball or a Austin of the 1920s. This basically takes stops from the grate and the swell and either borrows them outright, or like if there's a 4-foot spill flute on the grate, we'll put it at 8-foot pitch, play it, and then fill it out there.
All right. Well, that's an interesting way to do things.
I think that this is a used console. It came from a different organ, I think from the 80s, and so they probably had 3 manuals and thought, well, let's add some versatility.
Do some wiring and you can make it work.
Right.
All right. Well, let's start then with the great division, and let me hear what we've got in here. Then this is our chorus, you said, is new Reuter.
Yes, I believe so. And so there's actually a 16-foot prestante that's in the facade, and it's aluminum. Really nice, unforced sound. I really like that.
Definitely.
And then we have an 8-foot diapason. Another nice kind of warm singing stuff.
It is. It's very singing, but it's got a little bit of an edge to it that I'm guessing, that's what it sounds like here, but I'm guessing out there it really mellows by the time this glorious acoustic
It is a great acoustic. So yeah,
Okay.
it's a little less edgy downstairs. And then 4-foot octave, 2-foot 15th, that is new. Put them together. It's basically scaled the way you would expect it.
Yeah, very nice bright chorus there.
And then the furniture. Nice chorus. You can add the 16-foot Prestant. So nice, nice amount of bass without being too muddy down there. And then we have a 8-foot tromba that I believe is new as well. We'll have to check when we go in the chamber. I'm going to see if that comes off of the trombone. Nope, they're different.
Okay.
And then there's an 8-foot crumhorn in the grate. I don't think this came from the Wicks. It may be Reuter inventory that they had. Might have been another stop from the Wicks, but we shall see. It sounds very vintagey is why I say it. Kind of bright and buzzy.
Yeah, I could believe either. Well, okay.
And then there's a 4-foot musette. And I'll play it, and I want you to tell me what stop it would have been on the teller's organ. It's a very deceiving name for this stop.
That's not what I would expect out of a musette.
No.
It's much more horn-like and almost oboe-like. So.
It's an oboe. It's a keyhole oboe.
Oboe, all right.
Maybe a Gottfried from that.
Okay.
So if you put the crumhorn and the musette together, it makes kind of a nice little racket.
Nice alternative to the tromba as being your big reed.
Right.
Okay.
New harmonic flute at 8-foot pitch.
Lovely.
Yeah, Reuter made some really nice harmonic flutes. Nice treble ascendancy. 8-foot gedeckt, which is wooden, and it comes from the old Wicks.
Okay.
Let me put something in the pedal here.
It's a 71 Wicks gedeckt.
But it works in this acoustic.
Indeed, yeah.
Here it is with the harmonic flute. I think that makes for a rather compelling sound, actually.
That harmonic flute sort of rounds off some of the edges of the gedeckt there.
Yeah. Then
Okay.
want to put the 3/8 together. Makes a nice, lovely, warm sound.
Very nice.
The diapason and the harmonic flute really do cancel that out.
Yeah.
A 4-foot spill flute, which I think is Reuter, but not new, maybe from their inventory.
Yeah, gentle little flute.
With the 8-foot Gedeckt, you get a Christmas carol waiting to happen.
Indeed, yeah.
And then 2-foot. We're almost to Christmas in July.
Yeah, almost.
So that's the Great Division. Oh, and I'd be remiss if I did not mention it has chimes. Keeping on our Christmas theme here.
Those sound like those could be much older than the Wicks and the Reuter.
Probably not new.
Okay.
So, going to the Swell division, we have a 16 and 8-foot roar flute. That's a thing you find on Reuters a lot.
Okay.
But the roar flute is old, I believe, from Wicks. Certainly doesn't sound like a Reuter. Would you agree?
Goes all the way down, yeah.
This might be electric.
I believe.
A Peterson.
Yeah, there's a Peterson tone generator in there for that bottom octave.
Yeah. So then there's an 8-foot Geigen diapason in the Swell. Here it is compared to the Prestant 8 on the Great. Sort of similar, and then here's compared to the diapason in the Great.
Very kindred there. Yeah.
And then there's a 4-foot extension.
Nice.
Here's a set of strings that come from the Wicks. Could not mistake these for anything else. They sound very vintage Wicksy. Wicksy, did I invent a new word?
No, I don't think so.
Leave a comment.
Okay.
Rather nice.
Yeah.
A Waldflute 4. Here it is compared with the spill flute.
Flute has that little bit of Wicks brightness in it from.
Then we have a Flock Flute 2.
Okay.
And that is with the Waldflute. Leave they're independent. Here it is with the 8.
Very nice.
The Zard I think is independent. Here's with the tremulant. Finish the cornet.
Yeah, lovely. Full cornet up there in the swell, okay.
Then a plongeur. It's like a Reuter.
3 ranks.
And then here's the swell chorus. There's a fugato from the Wicks. Kind of a fun stop if you play it up an octave. Trumpet from the Wicks. Clarion. Put the whole reed chorus. I'll add the roar flute in there to give it a little bit more weight.
I really like the array of reed color that's in
Yeah.
this organ. They're not all my favorite kinds of reeds, but when you mix and match them with other stops, you get all kinds of new sounds that you don't have on every organ. So this is a lot of versatility there.
I'm going to do my full swell test
Okay.
on here and see how it does.
Effective.
A fairly effective swell box. I think we've gone through everything in the swell at this
I think
point.
we have. Okay. Well, tell me. Well, first of all, let's look at the pedal division because we do have
Right.
some tellers. Pedal
Yeah,
stops
there's a lot of
down
good
there.
stuff down here. There's a 16-foot open wood, the pipes of which are original to this building. That is quite a roar up.
Indeed.
Of course, we have the 16-foot prestante. If you want something that's a little more forward.
And is that the same as what's on the grate?
Yes.
Okay.
And then a 16-foot sub bass, again from the tellers. Goes up to 8. Eight-foot octave. And I believe that's independent too, choral bass too.
Okay.
And then a really lovely trombone, again, tellers. With its 8. You can add the musette in there to get kind of a nice little quasi-German sound. Nice and smooth. I kind of like that. It's certainly not a German Posaune, but it sort of can function that way in the chorus. I'm going to actually do something odd, and I'm going to put a big principal chorus on in the grate, like I'm playing Bach with the tromba, and I'm going to I'll use the 16-foot prestante in the grate and a couple of times with the pedal, but I'm only going to use the trombone and the 8 and 4, and I'm not going to use the open wood, and we'll see how it sounds. Here's a little bit of burr. on those North German organs, you don't have to use
No, that's
the
all you need.
posaune. Has a lot of fundamental to it,
Right,
and
right. Huh.
that's how it's meant to be used. And this one, some sort of, I don't think they were going for that, but it certainly
Certainly works.
something you can do. So this solo division has, again, it's more of an auxiliary manual. It's just got some tricks of the trade that you can use. So let's say I want to have the strings on. I want to use the strings against the cornet in the swell.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can't do that because the strings live there. But the strings also live on the solo, so
Okay.
I can do that. Here we go. The Wald flute in the swell, that's at 8. You can add that.
Now, that just plays down to tenor C because that's a 4-foot stop. No, there's an 8-foot extension because we're taking the 4-foot.
Right, and so I think that's coming from. Figure it out.
It sounds like, yeah.
Yeah, the rare flute, okay. And then there's the spill flute. Comes from the gedeckt.
Okay.
So put them together. So you just needed another 8-foot color. There you've got it, and you can kind of play around with the flutes. Here's the 4-foot gedeckt and the 8-foot Wald flute. Or you could mix it up and have the spill flute and the flock flute. And the block flute. And then the quint, which is octave of that. And we have 3 reeds here. You can put the tromba and the trumpet and the crumhorn together. Maybe without the crumhorn.
I could give you your solo trumpet against your great
Yeah.
accompaniment, maybe if you
Let's try that real quick. Maybe not too much on there because
4 and 2 maybe.
I wouldn't do too much more than that.
But it gives you a chance to solo that out against something
Right.
else besides
Right.
the division it's in. All right.
So I think we've gone through everything. As you can see, it's a rather versatile instrument given the resources that are up here. It's not a particularly large organ for
there's-
this space.
There's a lot of creative things done that are outside of just usual borrowing and duplication of stops to make it more versatile for its size.
And this is a great case study in how placement in a good room can really overcome a lot. Like I said, this because of the acoustic in here and because of the placement, the organ doesn't have to work hard to sound really good. So keep that in mind, future organ builders and architects.
Right. And looking at it, the grate and the swell are on the same level. So here in this early summer that we're getting along, the tuning is still pretty good for what we've got.
Yeah, that's really nice too. I'm sure they could have crammed more organ in there if they had wanted to.
Oh, sure.
But I think they made a wise decision by putting everything on one level and not pushing their luck with this temperamental old building.
And we'll go take a look inside and see how it pans out. So on the side of the case is a door. Lets us in. This is obviously a part of the Wicks organ there. Has Wicks keys and felt on it. Inside, immediately to our right, we see some pedal chests. Now, these look like Wicks chests, but the rack boards are new. with Reuter writing on them. Or they may be recycled. And then there's the pedal trombone on this chest. All of the pipework is up above us. Down here we just have lots of winding, the regulators. Some advice for the wary technician there. You can take that as a lesson that someone had to learn. And we found the lights. And then these are Reuter chests here on the facade. Electro-pneumatic chests. And then we have a blower box, which doesn't look like Wicks or Reuter. I think that could be from the tillers. The blower inside is new, but the intake appears to be rather old. Then we see some tellers pedal pipes back there. You can see the original handwriting there on the pipes for the note names. And then more pedal pipes at the back. That's our subas and pedal octave. And there's the electrical connections for the blower. This appears to be a Wicks static regulator on top of the blower. But these reservoirs are by Reuter, and that's the style tremolo Reuter uses. Going back around, we see there is the flute harmonique here at the back of the chamber. The 8-foot extensions there. And then this is the 16-foot tone generator for the 16-foot Rohrgedeckt by Peterson. There's our relay, and behind the relay we have a ladder that goes up to the level of the pipes. So here we are, and the first thing we see are more Teller's pedal pipes. That's the 16-foot open, and then behind us we have 2 wind chests here with all of the great pipes. You can recognize the bronze tuning slides by Wicks. And then we have new pipework by Reuter and what looks like an old couple flute with the red felt on it there. It looks a little bit older than the chorus work. Behind it, it looks like a very old Gedeckt. And then we have the top of the tromba there by Tellers, and that continues here. We're kind of squished into view. It goes up, I believe, only 32 notes, and then the treble end of the reeds continues over here on this chest in front of the great pipes. And these look like they're new pipes. I don't know if they were built by Wicks or Reuter. But there's the old Teller's pipes, and here's the new pipes for the treble. I was kind of fascinated by this. This is the keyhole oboe, originally from Teller's and now turned into a musette. And then it extends into these pipes, which look very different, but I assume sound similar. There's our swell boxes with the aluminum swell shades behind the grate. There's a door on the side that lets us go in. And we see 4 very compact chests in here in order to keep the organ from getting too deep. We have a chest full of reeds here, 2 of them actually. That's our 16-foot fagotto and our 8-foot trumpet. Then there's a door in the back of the chamber, which I just had to open and see. And all it does is it gives you access to the pedal pipes, which are behind the organ case. Those don't look like much fun to get to. These are easy enough. And the next chest has our roar flute on it, with Wicks trademark blue felt there. And there's our 8-foot solitional, mitered to fit in here. There's our 4-foot Geigen octave, and then we see here the plongeau that's new by Reuter. And then yet another door in the back of the chamber. Then on the other side of the plongeau we have the voix celeste, the bottom of that. The bald flute there with the Wicks bronze slides. 2 2/3 and 2 foot. And then these are the treble pipes for all of those. Tierce Nazard, Anjou. And then on the far end we have the Solutional, which obviously was not celesting well with its paired celeste, so a little divider board was added to the rack board in order to help it out. And then these chimes look very old, with Wicks action on them. And then one more door here at the back of the chamber. You peek out this one, and this takes us to this end, where some of the pedal principals are. You can reach way out and tune those if you have to, I guess. And then that ladder we came up continues up, and that helps you get to the top of the 16-foot open of these teller's pipes. Andrew, thank you once again for demonstrating this and playing so well this Reuter organ from 2019, although with 1913 and 1971 pipework in it. Right. A really creative reuse of things and making the organ live on well past its useful times. And right. From what I understand, this organ gets a lot of use here. Yeah, they are very proud of it here at the Basilica, and I did want to say a special word of thanks to Becky Williams, the Basilica organist, for all of her wonderful hospitality and graciously making the space available for us. This is a very friendly place. It gets lots of tourists. You might have even heard them coming and going while we were recording, because this is a busy place. It's a very popular basilica here in Dyersville, Iowa. So we'll put a link down to the description where you can find out more about it if you'd like to. We still have more organs from Iowa coming up. Andrew's got some more surprises for us. So make sure you're subscribed to our channel and keep watching for our next video. Click the little bell to get a notification when it comes out, usually on Sundays. Until our next video is out, though, remember you can always find streaming classical organ music on our 3 stations: OrganLive.com, Positively Baroque, and The Organ Experience. All right, thank you again, Andrew. I can't wait to see our next location. Yep, it'll be a good one. Until then, I'm Brent Johnson. Andrew Schaeffer. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Make sure you mention the Field of Dreams.